It's late summer of 1998, and you've been a fan of comic books your entire life, and you're 15 years old. Before this specific time period in 1998, nobody really took superheroes that seriously unless it was Tim Burton's Batman. But yet, you're a teenager that loves Marvel, and really anything that involves superheroes. But you mainly really stick to Marvel. Over the last decade before 1998, Marvel was hemorrhaging money. So when Marvel saw how much DC was making, and by extension Tim Burton, off the Batman movies, the next step was logically clear. We have to make a badass superhero that virtually everyone of all walks of life will love. And that's exactly why, in the late summer of 1998, a 15-year-old boy would be ecstatic to go see Blade. Not a lot of people talk about how Blade saved Marvel, and how Spiderman 2002 launched the MCU. You see, I was born in 2003, so none of these movies came out when I was even born yet, but I did grow up watching them, so I know exactly how it is, I know exactly what these movies are about, and I know how absolutely based they are. Compared to the dog shit slop we get today, Blade is a masterclass of superhero movies. I mean, almost everything the man has said is memeable, and you can pretty much say it in everyday life.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
They'll kill me.
Kill you, motherfucker, I'll kill you. I'll just enjoy it.
Put aside the fact that Wesley Snipes is an absolute masterclass in acting, he made a day-walking vampire seem realistic within the Marvel Universe. I can almost say that Blade is so irrefutably badass that almost every action scene that I've ever seen in that movie, I have to go back and rewatch at some point, just to get the little intricate details of Wesley Snipes' technique on how he did what he did. I also like how they did Blade in a minimalist way. They didn't really give you much of a backstory on him because you pretty much know who Blade is just by the first scene of him walking into the vampire's lair. It's so well done that no words are spoken, and the first part of Blade, when he's murdering all of these vampires, you staunchly understand who the man is just by him doing actions. He doesn't even have to do words. He does actions, and you staunchly understand who the man is. Blade is also irrefutably fucking hilarious, man.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Right.
And I guarantee you almost every young man who has seen Blade, who is my age, remembers Deacon motherfucking Frost.
Yeah, I mean, this dude is fucking bad. Like, he's like, you have 20 guys around him. I was there, man. He's got shit he throws at you. You like the sword.
Yeah, he's got the sword.
Exactly.
Yeah, he can throw it in the air, catch it underneath.
Exactly.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Look, make it happen, all right? It's one guy on foot.
The dude is a perfect example of how to make a campy, hilarious, absolutely comical villain. Even though the movie is almost 30 years old, I find it quite refreshing to have a almost goofy, evil character.
Vampires like you aren't a species. You're just infected. A virus, a sexually transmitted disease.
I'll tell you what we are, sister. We're the top of the fucking food chain. The blood god's coming, and after tonight, you people are fucking history. He's a hurricane. An act of God. Anyone caught in his path will instantly be turned. Everyone you've ever known. Everyone you've ever fucking loved. It won't matter who's pure blood and who's not. How you gonna cure the whole fucking world?
And that's kind of what I miss about early 2000s and 90s superhero movies, is they were extremely campy, goofy, but also serious at the same time. I love how Deacon Frost can go from ruthless leader one second to absolutely fucking hilarious in the next. One of the scenes I vividly remember from Blade is when he catches one of the vampires he's hunting on fire, and then the vampire awakens in the hospital, and then somehow Blade knew he was still alive, like he just subconsciously or like telekinetically knew. It was just goofy. I find it funny that he thought he killed him in the party, and then somehow he figured out that he was still alive instantly, showing up at the hospital trying to kill him. I usually never shoo away bad writing, but when it's Blade or movies like Spider-Man, it can easily be overlooked by just how good the movie is in general. And I think Spider-Man 2002 suffers exactly how Blade 1998 suffered, with its sequels and its trilogies being 100 times worse than the first movies. The first movies are considered legendary cinema, and then the rest of the two are garbage. Blade showed a reality that superhero movies can be funny, serious, and badass all rolled up into one, and it really proved to Marvel that these types of movies can make big money. There's a reason why Marvel movies today in abundance absolutely sucks and is a pandering slop mess compared to the absolutely legendary status of the early 2000s and the 90s superheroes at the time. You see, the camera angles and the CGI and everything else might have been subpar compared to today, but they were way better actors, way better scripts, way better plots, and it's not bland either. You see, modern Marvel movies suffer from blandness. The same plots, same everything, and they play it way too safe. Now, obviously not every Marvel movie is gonna suffer, but most do today. And it's mainly why I'm starting these videos today off with Blade saved Marvel, but Spider-Man 2002 started the MCU. Because it wasn't Spider-Man 2002 that launched the MCU. It was the one that started the blueprint and foundation of the MCU, considering Sony is the one that still owned Spider-Man at the time and was gatekeeping him. They still made money off the Spider-Man 2002 movies, but he is the one that started the blueprint of the future MCU movies, as to why Marvel wanted to buy Spider-Man from Sony. After that happened with the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and the absolute failure that was, Marvel said, let me have Spider-Man back, or at least a couple years in contract. As with Spider-Man 2002, it's just as iconic as Blade is, and as memeable.
You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door!
I'd say Spider-Man 3 is more memeable than Spider-Man 1 because of how Tobey Maguire acted in Spider-Man 3, and I really don't think Spider-Man 3 is as bad as people give it, because I think it's more goofier than the rest, and it's supposed to be goofier and campier and funnier and more memeable. But I do believe it pales in comparison to the first Spider-Man and compared to Blade, of course. But I'm also the type of guy that I do like Tom Holland's Spider-Man the most. I do believe him to be the most accurate Spider-Man. But Tobey Maguire is the best movie Spider-Man overall. Tom Holland has that type of face where you don't want to punch him, every second. And I don't think that Spider-Man is a pretty boy. I think that you want to punch Spider-Man in the face because he's a nerd, he's a wimp, he's meek. That's how Spider-Man is. And that's what made Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man so iconic, was that you did kind of want to punch him in the mouth a little bit. These movies are very iconic and very good, especially Spider-Man, right? But where they start to fail really miserably is with Mary Jane. I would say these two have a more toxic relationship in cinema more than anyone I have ever met in a movie. Mary Jane and Peter Parker's relationship in the Spider-Man trilogy is fucking toxic. And it wasn't just seen in Spider-Man 3. A lot of people say that their relationship was cute in the first movie. First of all, no it wasn't. They went back and forth. I don't want to be with you. I want to be with you. Mary Jane manipulating Peter's heart, trying to get with his best friend, even though I know that happened in the future movies. They still go back and forth in the first movie. I mean, it's toxic garbage. At this point, Peter, just go fuck some random chick. Like, you deserve better than Mary Jane. And I'm one that believes that these scenes go on for way too fucking long, and these scenes are overly saturated. Like, please stop showing their relationship. Nobody fucking cares, okay? Let us see them kiss once and then move the fuck on. Mary Jane and Peter Parker's relationship is not the core identity of Spider-Man. And the way they try to force this guy's relationship is just cringe. Even the actors don't look like they're into it at all. I mean, it's just so fucking cringe. But despite that, I'd say the villain of the first Spider-Man movie and Spider-Man himself are just perfect. I mean, every single scene with these two in it are just iconic. Every word that Green Goblin says, every word that Spider-Man says in the first movie is so fucking pop culturally defiant.
But the one thing they love more than a hero is to see a hero fail. In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. Why bother?
That I don't really see any other Spider-Man that comes close to that. Even though I said that Tom Holland is my personal favorite, I am pop culturally aware enough to realize that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is Spider-Man. Nobody else can beat that, even though I personally believe that Tom Holland is the best. Without the foundation that Spider-Man gave to the rest of the MCU, you wouldn't have the MCU. First of all, because without Spider-Man, you wouldn't have the Iron Man movies. And without the Iron Man movies, you wouldn't have the MCU. And by extension, the grandfather, the one that started the whole family of MCU movies, Blade, was the one that saved Marvel from bankruptcy. So you can't sit here and tell me that Spider-Man 2002, and by extension, the trilogy, is the one that started or saved Marvel, when Blade is the one that saved Marvel. I would go as far as to say that Blade is the one that saved Marvel, and Spider-Man 2002 is what laid the foundation of the MCU. And I don't know if I'm just an old head now. I mean, I'm almost 24, so you can call me Unc all you want. I don't care. Or if it's just my old brain, I don't know. But these movies are so much better compared to modern Marvel movies.
You serious?
That it's like night and day difference. I mean, I go to work every night and I can say one sentence from Spider-Man 2002 or one sentence from Blade, and people know it. People can meme it. People laugh with me. And there's only few examples of modern day Marvel movies and DC movies that I can do that with. Very few! And that's fucking sad. Because both of these movies, Spider-Man 2002 and Blade 1998, are fucking approaching 30 years old, guys. Like, how are we not able to make good movies anymore? I'd say the last good Marvel movie that I've seen is the Thunderbolts and Deadpool vs. Wolverine. And even those two movies are kind of getting close to how Spider-Man 2002 and Blade was. I don't know if that's just my nostalgia bias, but even those movies that are considered good and personally good for me, they pale in comparison even still to Blade and Spider-Man 2002. And it seems like they're in this cycle of, oh, let's go back to playing it safe and not doing anything controversial. First of all, the only reason why you made Blade so good and you made Spider-Man 2002 so good is because you were riding the line between, oh, this isn't believable and this is believable, or you were pushing controversial subjects into these movies. And that's what made people love these movies so much and why they are fucking legendary status today. It's why every movie is trying to profitize off of it, why they're bringing Blade back into Deadpool and Wolverine, why they brought Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back into the new Spider-Man movies, is because they're trying to profit off of our nostalgia bias off those movies. First of all, those movies aren't even like close in quality that 2002 and 1998 Marvel movies were. Most of the movies today are just slop-fest, rush, pandering AI nonsense. And although the Sam Raimi movies are extremely campy, goofy at times, I think that they are way more legendary than the Spider-Man movies of today. Even Spider-Man 3 is still meme today and is still fucking hilarious today. You can't tell me you're not having a good time watching Bully Maguire fucking cuck Mary Jane, fuck bitches, and get money. It's hilarious to watch such a meek guy, nerdy guy, turn into such a fucking Chad overnight. And I think that was the purposeful angle they were going for there, at least Sam Raimi, was to show the stark contrast versus Peter with the symbiote and Peter without the symbiote. Even to the point where I think Tobey Maguire himself may have kept the suit, if you know what I mean.
I can't see the cars.
Okay, back up, guys. You can't see the cars.
They got the fuck out of the way. I can't see. There are cars there, motherfucker. Get out of the way.
Anyway, if you disagree with my points here, you're more than welcome to comment down below. Anyway, that's it.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.